Hey guys, welcome back to another Work for Game podcast. I know it's been a good while since we've done a podcast, but here we are on April 2nd, 2025, when we finally received the Switch 2 announcement or the overall trailer, what we're going to get. And of course, Somber's here. How's it going, buddy?
I'm fantastic. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. And like I said, this is going to be all about our overall impressions of Switch 2. But first, we're going to kind of get started with like our overall impressions of what we thought we were going to see in the direct and kind of go into detail about our thoughts and feelings about that. Then we're going to get into our overall impressions and then pretty much our final verdict at the end. So I'll go ahead and start. So when we initially saw the whole like trailer about the Switch 2, how it's real, it's coming. They just kind of gave us an overview of what it looked like. They didn't really go into much detail about it. They didn't showcase anything. They showed Mario Kart, which I thought was called Mario Kart 9 at the time, and some of the characters look different in that. And that was like the only thing that they showed. So when I first saw that trailer, I wasn't really too hyped about it. I was like, they didn't really show anything. To me, I thought when this direct took place, I knew that there was going to be some quality of life feature, some upgrades, some performance updates, different things like that. So I thought that it was just going to be a nice direct, like, oh, that's nice. Oh, okay, that's pretty neat. Maybe some oh wow moments. And during this whole month leading up to the Nintendo Switch 2 direct, I was just kind of feeling like, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with my Switch for now. It's not something I don't think it's gonna be something I'm just gonna run out of purchase. I was like, because when they showed that trailer, it didn't really grab me. And so all this time, people have been like, "Hey, Mute, are you hyped for the Switch 2? Switch 2?" I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, I didn't get any, huge like updates about what it was going to happen. So I was a little nonchalant about it. But now is a whole different story, and we're going to get into that shortly. But Somber, what was your thoughts when you leading up to the direct? What was your thoughts about it?
So leading up to the direct, I guess you could say I was expecting maybe like some feature updates. Just telling me what the Switch could do. I wasn't really expecting any games outside of what they showed. The Metroid Prime, the Mario Kart, stuff like that. Because I mean, to be honest, we know Nintendo, so we know that we're gonna get a Mario here or there. We're gonna get maybe some kind of Zelda action here or there. You can expect those things. I maybe expected like a surprise, like a new Luigi's Mansion or something like that. Something something just kind of low key, like maybe like 3 games, something like that. But then, um, I mean, both me and you have been avid Nintendo fans for a while, so to be honest, we don't really need much. Just give me 2 games to play, and I'm all right for a little while until you can figure it out. But I mean, they were like game, game, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we gonna have some stuff to play. That's for sure. That is for sure. So I was very happily surprised about that. That was fantastic. That's all I can really say about that. I was not expecting what I got, so that was great.
Absolutely. So yeah, you and I we were kind of in the same boat where it's just like, we'll just see what happens. Like you said, a couple nice little new features and this and some games, and it would have been fine. There's nothing wrong with the whole like updates to like the performance, frame rates, and all that. I think that's nice. Me personally, I'm all about gameplay. So I mean, if there's like a little hiccup here and there, it doesn't bother me as it does most other people. But yeah, that was just our general impression that it's like, we'll just see what happens. But now that we have finally seen that direct, oh my goodness. Somber, you and I, we have been lighting fireworks in that Discord server about all the juicy details we got from the Nintendo Switch 2. Because me personally, I, like I said, I wasn't gonna get it on day one. I'll be like, I'll get it when I get it. And, I got my Switch. It's treating me all right. But man, Somber, and it wasn't even the Mario Kart that grabbed me. It was nice, don't get me wrong, it was nice, but some of the technical aspects that they added to the Switch too, I mean, it's one of those things, and I've talked about this in a previous podcast we did, where I always wanted a game system where I can pretty much interact with it in my living room. I think this is like a very close step to that where they added the camera feature and your pictures on there with your characters and everything on there. The whole like screen sharing cuz you and I we play Pokemon Unite and sometimes we'll spectate each other's matches. But now on the Switch 2, you and I can interact with each other while playing Unite. I think that is fantastic. I don't know how it's going to operate. I don't know if it's going to be all games or most games. I don't know how they're going to integrate that. Hopefully they'll add it to like Unite, and I'm hoping pretty much majority of like the games themselves where they can kind of interact with that. But I mean that screen sharing, that camera, even the actual size of it is huge.
Uh-huh.
And even the overall graphics of how you want to play the game, you can play it at what, 1080 fps, 4K. It looked absolutely fantastic. So I just wanted just to highlight as one of my first aspects of them integrating that into the Switch 2. What is one of your key highlights that you took away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct?
So exactly the same as yours, but slightly different. The
Okay.
chat feature, okay? Because I have been wondering, like, this was the same company that made the DS, right? Like, that's the same company. Same company. So I was
Yep.
like,
Yep. Yep.
you know, we doing the portable thing, but like, why these switches don't talk to each other? Like, we
Right.
had that in the DS. Like, you remember PictoChat, right? PictoChat was like one
That's
of the
right.
funnest things that I've ever encountered in my life, and it was not even a game. Like, we used to just send PictoChats just to goof off, you know. And I'm like, can I get just a little bit of that? All I want is just a little bit, but they gave me a lot of that, and I was like, okay, okay, we good. I'm good. I got to get it now. That's what I wanted. Like, it felt like the Switch. Like, I like, even if you have more than one Switch in your own house, it feels like they're just totally separate. Like, they don't talk to each other at all. That's what I want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's you the same company that made the DS. Like, can we at least can we at least pretend like you know how to run a portable system? Can we at least pretend? But yes, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got.
Awesome. Yeah, that whole sharing, the games with other Switches, and it's like all you need is just one Switch too, and you can still share it with the other like, first gen Switch. I was blown away by that.
Yep.
Yeah, it is the same company that made the DS, the DS Share. So yeah, same thing. I'm so glad that they're bringing that back. Yeah, there is a more interactive way to, come together, interact with other Switches and whatnot. It would have been nice if, I mean, like I said, I'm like, after the direct, I was just throwing out potentials. I was like, what if they bring street passes back? I mean, what if they did this, did
Mm-hmm.
that, encourage people to kind of take their Nintendo Switch back. They can do something like that in the future. But yeah, them adding that feature back onto the Switch too is a really, really nice feature indeed. And we got a whole like glorious excuse me, we got like a whole like shuffle reel of like different games of and things of that nature. And this is just basically just like specifically just Switch 2 games in general. What are some Switch 2 games that you are looking forward to the most? It doesn't have to be one, two, it can even be all of them. Who knows? But what are the Nintendo Switch 2 titles that you are looking forward to?
Um. Well, I have loved Donkey Kong games for a long time. So when I saw the Donkey Kong game, I was just ecstatic. Cause for one thing, you know, even if we had even I would have been happy with just the Donkey Kong 64 remake. That's all I would have needed. But they we got a whole new Donkey Kong game, and not only that, but he actually feels like Donkey Kong. Like he's actually strong, and he can punch brick walls. Like we are talking, we are talking. That's what I want. That's the one that stood out to me the most, because I know that I'm getting that one. Like there's no way I'm not getting that game. Like the
Hmm.
Donkey Kong game is happening, and um, yeah, it. I mean, I'm saying we should call it Donkey Kong punches everything, but I just like I just like that he's actually fitting his like you actually feel like Donkey Kong. I mean, in the other games, I guess you maybe kind of a little bit felt like Donkey Kong, but in this one, like we got Super Smash Bros. Donkey Kong. he's
Yes.
he's in the house, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I was at first I was like, well, I don't know about this new appearance that we got, but I
Movie
mean, I
Donkey
guess
Kong.
we getting there. I can deal with it. I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, it was like he was introduced when we first saw that screenshot of him in Mario Kart. It's not Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart World. I have to get that right. Yeah, we saw a screenshot. We're like, oh, it's movie Donkey Kong, and we were like, what happened? But now that I've seen the game, I'm like, okay, it's kind of growing on me.
Yeah,
So I see where you're kind of coming from with that.
and I expect. Well, let me say not expect, but I'm hoping that we can do back and forth. So maybe we can do movie Donkey Kong and we can do old school Donkey Kong.
Oh,
I'm
like he
hoping
can
like
like have
like
like a
how
skin.
Yoshi's like you can change the color or whatever. Hopefully we can do
Yeah.
something like that with Donkey Kong. I'm just gonna hope for that. I'm not gonna count on it,
Okay.
but I'm gonna hope for something like that because I still like the old style, but the new style it's working out all right, I guess.
Yeah, they did that like kind of sort of with Mario Odyssey. Like spoiler alert if you haven't beaten the game at this
I
point,
know, right?
but after you beat the game, you can go to Princess Peach's castle and then that's where you get the old school N64 Mario
Oh yeah,
skin. So yeah, they might do something for Donkey Kong. That would be really cool if they did.
yeah. So
And
what about you?
so
What was your game? Even though I already know what it is, what was your game that appealed to you?
Kirby Air Riders.
Wow, I
Kirby
never would have
Air
guessed. I never would have
Kirby
guessed that.
Herbie Air Riders. Oh snap. I nearly did cartwheels when I saw that because I've been waiting for another Kirby Air Ride. I mean, I don't even care if they ported it from the GameCube. I wanted that game back so badly. But now we got it and it's under direction of Masahiro Sakurai. I mean, yeah, Sakurai. Um, this game they could take as long as they want with this game. They if they need to delay it or whatever, I'm pretty sure he's going to make sure that this game is perfect. This is his child right here. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do a fantastic job on this game. Cause man, back in the GameCube days, I spent a good chunk of my life playing this game, just racing the other Kirby's, doing the city trial, playing the mini games. I did them all. I don't think I ever played with a real person before, and even if I did introduce the game, they wouldn't know. So it's not one of those games where it's like, hey, just pick up a controller, anybody can play. It's like, no, this one takes a little more skill. So yeah, it'll be such a fun experience to be able to play the game with like our community. Um, and reliving all of the glorious Kirby Air Ride days. And since we got that GameCube Virtual Console coming to Switch 2, that would be an added bonus if they could put the GameCube version of Kirby Air Rides in that. Ooh wee, man, that would be icing on the cake if they could release both of those games at the same time. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Kirby Air Ride Air I'm sorry, Kirby Air Riders is one of my on the top number one list.
Yeah, so I knew
And
when the moment I saw
go ahead.
The moment I saw that, I was like, "Oh boy, I already know Mute is gonna be through the roof." Cause I mean, I know I love the game, but I know you love Kirby way more than I do. Even though I still like Kirby, I saw that and I said, "Okay." Cause this is the thing that people don't seem to understand is, like, okay, yes, I'm a Nintendo fan, but that I don't
Hmm.
need much. Just give me, just give me a little bit. All I needed was just one little Donkey Kong game to play. I'm happy. I got nothing. Just like with the Nintendo app, I was saying like a couple of songs. I just want a couple of songs, and I'll stop complaining. And they gave me those songs. You know what? I'm good. I'm happy. I ain't gonna complain. You know what? You did your job. You did what I asked you to do. We good. I got no more problems.
Absolutely. And it was just such a really, really nice surprise. Like, you know, I I was like, it was one of those feelings where it's like, I don't think that Kirby Air Ride will ever see the light of day. And it's just like I said, Nintendo always throw those curveballs. I love when they do that. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's why it always reignites my passion for Nintendo games because when you think that they're gonna go a certain way and then they go totally left field, something you don't even see, and it's something that not even leakers or people who try to extract information out of Nintendo get. It is
I
just
know. I feel
decent.
like Nintendo is like the CIA or something because they can keep a
Right?
secret. I mean, there's
Exactly.
some stuff that gets out because it's just natural, but I'm talking about,
Hmm.
man, they can keep a secret. Like,
They
sometimes
can.
games, like before the game comes out, they have like the whole version downloaded on some kind of obscure website. But Nintendo,
Yep.
they be keeping that stuff under wraps, and I really like that because I did not see another Kirby Air Ride coming. I did not see that, and that's what I like.
Me neither. So yeah, that was definitely top of the list for me. And I'm gonna just talk about another honorable mention here, and that's gonna be Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. I kind of saw well, I didn't see gonna come on Switch too. That I didn't see, but I kind of saw like, okay, they're probably gonna make a Warriors game of Zelda when she traveled back in time with King Rauru and Queen Sonya, and I kind of saw that coming because it was like, they did it for Breath of the Wild, they did it for, they when that game came out, they brought in Age of Calamity. So I was like, now that we got Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, I have a feeling they won't make like a Tears of the Kingdom 2 that because our good friend Kerry Mike, he was like, do you think that they'll make like, a separate game where they include Zelda? I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a Warriors type game.
Yep,
I was like, they did it for Breath of the Wild, so
yep.
I I saw that, but I like this though because it's like you get a chance to experience the story through her. They always do those memories where we can only kind of see glimpses in pieces of it in the past, but here we're gonna get like a whole story of what Zelda went through, and there's probably gonna be stuff that she's gonna do in this game that's gonna affect Link in Tears of the Kingdom, and it's all gonna be connected. I love when they do stuff like that.
I'm certainly sure that that's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, did you have any honorable mentions about any upcoming games that you're looking forward to?
Um, well, yes, but there's so many.
I know, right? I know. The partner showcase. I mean, we get Final Fantasy,
Exactly.
and
It's like
you
I,
could
I get,
watch me.
yeah, I get to
You could
watch you
watch me
struggle
struggle
through.
with Aerith. You could watch me struggle.
Yeah, I mean, so much. I mean, I'm excited that Elden Ring is coming. I mean, I'm not an Elden Ring
Yeah.
player, but I'm excited
Yeah.
that it's coming because that means that that developer has thought enough about the Switch 2 that they're like, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Right.
I am curious about Rebirth on the Switch 2. I feel like it's gonna
Hmm.
come eventually, but probably
Yeah.
it's probably got some kind of exclusivity deal. That's what I imagine is happening there.
Right. And
Um,
so what do you think about the game, I think they're called the game update pass. What was it called?
oh, um, I'm gonna have to see it
Where
in action before I can judge it because it seems
Okay.
right now like it'll be kind of wonky. That's what it seems like.
Mm,
But like,
mm.
just for comparison's sake, the PlayStation
Mhm.
4 to the 5, what would happen is if you own the PS4 version of a game, you could get the
Mhm.
PS5 version for free. So it was actually
Mm.
better for you to get the PS4 version sometimes because you just basically getting a free PS5 game. And I
I
mean
see.
that was one way of incentivizing you to get a PS5, but I mean I can understand Nintendo's different. I'm just saying
Right.
I'm just saying like if I got let's say that I've got all these Switch games, and then I was
Mhm.
Monkey Thunder, and I never got a chance to play them all. And now
Right.
I gotta pay to upgrade them onto the Switch too. That might be an issue, just maybe,
Mhm. I
maybe.
see. I see.
I mean, I don't play games like that, so
Right.
but I'm just
Yeah, I
saying,
think
for a lot of people, that might be a problem. If you got to pay $20 per game to upgrade, that might be a problem.
oh,
Or
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that that could get expensive real quick.
Yeah. They'll probably have like a final, a final notice of how that's going to work because they did say, well, they did say that, any Switch games that you have, you can play it on the Switch too, which that's great.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about, the whole like Super Mario Party Jamboree, the Jamboree TV. I think that's really nice. I'm not sure if it's something that I really need. It's not one of those games, don't get me wrong, I love Super Mario Party Jamboree. I love it. I love it. I love it. But this mode, the Jamboree TV, I'm like, if I'm like playing, like, say for instance, if I just came home and I just wanted to play this game by myself, it's like, is this something that I really like need to upgrade? Is this something that I'm gonna come home to, always looking forward to? Not like I'm doing with my my drug of Xenoblade Chronicles X, where it's like I come home, I gotta play that game.
So
So yeah,
I totally agree there. My thoughts are very similar to Jamboree, to yours on Jamboree, because Jamboree is a fantastic game.
hmm
What they're adding though, it doesn't seem to fit the flavor of Jamboree. That's what my
right,
problem is. Like
hmm
it very much feels like an add-on, but I don't
hmm
really care about mouse controls. Like we've already moved past learning how to move the game, and now we're adding that, and that's like I don't know. But then at the same time, I will give it the benefit of the doubt because
yeah,
it might be the best mode that we ever encountered in our lives. Because like if like right now, let's say we went back before Jamboree and we tried to explain Coupathlon to somebody, they'd be like,
yeah,
"I'm not doing that. No, no, I'm not doing that. Laps? What? Mini games? We already got mini games. Why do we need that many? But
that's
Coupathlon
true.
is so fun that I can play that anytime, anywhere, any place. So at the same time,
Exactly.
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because like I said, it could be the best mode. It could be the best Mario Party mode that we've ever seen in our lives, and
Right.
it just didn't seem that way to me yet. So we'll see.
I got you. And that's what kind of upsetted me about Kirby Forgotten Land, because hence the name. I forgot all about Kirby Forgotten Land. I'm like, this game came out when, and now we get a brand new story, and it's like I don't have the game anymore, unfortunately. So it's like, come on now. So that was kind of a kick to the face a little bit with that one,
Well, it
unfortunately.
just seems the
But
title was apt. It seems like they get the right title, The Forgotten
yeah.
Land.
I
But
know,
we'll
and
see.
it was like, yeah, like I said, I forgot all about that game because when they showed that, I'm thinking it was a brand new Kirby game, but I was like, oh no, 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 they're updating Forgotten Land, but I was like, I forgot about it. But the whole like update pass for all these games that's coming out. I think still it's a nice feature that they're adding on to it. We have the treehouse that we're looking forward to.
Hmm.
They're gonna try out some games.
Yep.
And what do you think about the Nintendo GameCube Classic coming to Virtual Console? What are your thoughts
Oh
about
man,
that?
I love the so okay. When it came to the GameCube, like like I was telling you earlier, I don't need much. Okay,
hmm
I would have been just fine with just Wind Waker. Just give me the GameCube version of Wind Waker and we good. But I saw
hmm
Radiant Dawn on there. I'm happy. No more
Yes,
complaints from me. I'm happy.
yes,
I'm not complaining about anything else. Carry on.
yes.
Carry on about your business. I'm good. Nothing to see here. We yeah.
Because that game is expensive
It
everywhere
it is.
else.
It costs about as much as a Switch Two does.
Yes.
So you know what? I got no complaints. Carry on. You know, that I'm sure they'll. I'm sure sometime down the line I'll be like, man, I wish they had this game. Man, I wish that. But you know what? They gave me Radiant Dawn. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm happy.
They also got in both Pokemon Coliseums in
Oh
there.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Now
gosh.
we might see some more Shadow Pokemon.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And ooh, if they could do it in a way where you can get Pokemon from the Coliseum game and transfer and do it in a Pokemon home and transfer them into
Oh boy,
your
you
ZA game,
cooking
your
now?
Scarlet and Violet.
You cooking now? Oh boy, that would
I
be
told you this is
fantastic.
the stuff I've been thinking about all day. Like our good friend Monkey Thunder was saying that he didn't get no work done because he's been so hyped about of Switch 2. And same thing with me. I shoot. I'm sitting up there pacing back and forth like, what if they added this? What if we could see this? What if we could do that? I mean, just so much was just revealed, I think you summed it up well that all they had to do was just give you a little bit, and that's what solidified your decision on this is something that I really need to get. Because for me, when I first got the Switch, like overall, I was gonna get it regardless because I was like, oh, you can play Breath of the Wild on the go and it still looks good. For me, what got me though was they announced Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at the end of the presentation. I was like, yes, I'm gonna get it.
Yep, yep.
And it's just so much stuff that to really unpackage here. We got a plethora of games that's coming out, the whole Switch 2 feature, and it being not only bigger but looking better on handheld mode. You can share your gameplay with your friends or family members, and now when you're playing Unite, I could just be coming home and be like, "Hey, you playing Unite? I'ma just watch you. There's so much garbage on TV. I'ma just watch you play Unite."
Exactly, exactly.
And vice versa. You can watch me play Final Fantasy and hear me complain about Aerith all day long.
Yep, yep.
And it was just so many possibilities that I was just running simulations in my head. And Mario Kart World, I think that is a fantastic, fantastic starting game to kind of bundle up, to kind of introduce people to the Switch 2.
Hmm.
Because they talked about it. So Mario Kart World, is it like an open world? Is it kind of like a Diddy Kong Racing, member adventure mode in Diddy Kong Racing where you can kind of drive through throughout the
I
land,
certainly do.
racing different courses? Is it going to be something similar to that?
I mean, I'm hoping. You know how I am. I don't read too much into it. I just play the game. Like so, I kind of like okay. I'll watch this part of it, but I don't want to watch the whole thing because I don't want to be spoiled on everything. I want to find out fresh. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I mean, when I saw the outfit changes and the
Yes.
grinding, I was like,
Yes.
yeah, I can get with this. I can get with that. Like I said, I don't need much. Just give me a
Right?
little bit, and they gave me more than a little bit. You know what I mean? They gave me what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like I
Exactly.
always love it when company anticipates your needs to a certain extent, and they're like, okay, let's give the people what they want. That's what I've been wondering about Nintendo for a while. Like I know we're in our creative phase, but I still want you to give me
Hmm.
what I want. I want a Donkey Kong game. That's what I wanted, um, and we that's what we got. I've been
Yep.
wanting GameCube games for a long time. I wanted to pay.
Hmm.
I want to pay. I want to be able to play Radiant Dawn without breaking the bank. You know.
Yes.
So I said, okay, you know what? They gave me what I want. Like
And that's
if
all
I
she
worked for
wrote.
Nintendo, this would be the same stuff that I would be spitting out. So I got no complaints. I got none.
Exactly. And there's other games that because throughout the day I was I had the Nintendo Switch Direct kind of playing in the background trying to study it a little bit. There's so many games, like there's stuff that I missed the first time So I don't know if you ever played this game, but Enter the Gungeon and how that's being remade. I was like, oh wow,
Right. I,
Enter the Gungeon.
yeah, I was saying
Have
right.
you ever
That
played it?
that game, I didn't play it, but I know what I know about it.
I owned it, and man, I have yet to beat it because it is so hard. But I love it because it's challenging. It's crazy. They come out with the most outrageous like boss characters, and they like all these bosses have like crazy amount of guns. So now that they remaking it in 3D, I am so hyped for that. So yeah, there's just so many, games and things and that we are definitely looking forward to. And so that's what this podcast was just all about, just to kind of get our overall feelings and kind of hear each other's reactions on, what we thought of the direct. So here it is, the verdict. So you, Somber, will this will the Nintendo Switch 2 be a day one purchase for you?
Yes, but pending on craziness. Sometimes day
Yeah.
one craziness happens.
Yep.
But I didn't get the PS5 day one. I didn't get the regular Switch day one. I didn't get the PS4 day one. I didn't get the PS3 day one. I didn't get. I think the last system that I bought day one was a Wii.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
last system that I bought day one. But Switch two, day one, it's happening.
Ni Nice. Yeah, 'cause I have I think I told you earlier, I was like, I have my Switch too. I was like, I've never felt like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so ready to get rid of this thing now."
Right?
'Cause, this whole span of, us having the Switch for such a long period of time, it didn't bother me because I was like, "I'm loving the Switch. I could take it with me. I got all these games. I'm fine." 'Cause, that was part of the whole, like, nonchalant feeling when leading up to the direct. I was like, I have the Switch. I don't really need to get rid of it. But I was like, now I was like, I'm done with the Switch. I'm ready for the Switch too.
Yep. Yep.
So yes, it's gonna be a first day paid purchase for me. If it's not the first day, maybe the first week.
Right. Which,
But
but you know how
either way, I am going to get
early
one.
early on systems go sometimes. Sometimes that gets a little crazy. Although, oh, and I wanted to say one honorable
But
mention that I'm loving
okay.
is when you want to buy pre-order something from Nintendo, they check your hours to see if you actually playing it. I love that. I love that because if I
Yes.
lose out to somebody who plays more than me, I have no complaints. None. I got no
Right.
complaints. Not at all.
Right. But if they got like 2 minutes on it
Exactly. If
and they
it's somebody who just picked up a Switch, I'm like, man, no, no, please no. But yeah, see, I got no complaints. If I'm losing to somebody who's got more hours than me, yeah,
hmm
I got no problems with that.
Yeah, and I think this will be the first time I'll actually get a bundle. I usually don't get a bundle when it comes to new systems. I was like, yeah, you know, but now I think I want that Mario Kart World bundle.
Oh yeah, I
You
can totally
know,
see that. Cause I mean, you're probably gonna get Mario Kart World anyway, so
yeah.
I mean,
So
it makes
it's like,
sense.
yeah. I'm like, why not? So, I got the OLED, the Pokemon Scarlet Violet OLED, but as far as like a bundle with that came with like a game or anything like that, I mean, the closest thing, I mean, I don't know if it counts, but it's the Wii U Nintendo Land, but
Right?
that was like the only thing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get the Mario Kart bundle. But man, I also knew that we will reach this stage in life where Nintendo games prices are
Yep.
skyrocketed. I was like, oh.
Yep. It
I
was always
saw it
going to
coming.
happen, especially because they
Yeah,
don't run discs. You know, it's their own cartridge, proprietary.
right.
You were always asking for it in that regard. Always, 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 always. It's unfortunate.
Exactly. So, like I said, when I get the Switch 2, because I'm gonna get one, I
Right.
was like, I don't need to eat for a couple months. I trust me. I know how to live off of top ramen and burrito for months. I know how to do it. I know how to do
I love it.
it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much our verdict. We're gonna get it hopefully within the first. If it's not the first day, it's gonna be the first week. But other than that, we're gonna get it. I know that for me, on the channel. I'm gonna have an unboxing of the Switch 2 whenever I get it, even if it's a week later, a month later. I'm still gonna do one,
Mhm.
and then hopefully you and I can collab with each other to kind of play these games, do a work for game sessions for these different titles and everything like that. But overall, I am super stoked on what to look forward to when Switch 2 comes out. So yeah, did you have any other closing thoughts in regards to Switch 2?
Just one small thought, and
Go ahead.
the only is only design related. I just want to
Hmm.
see a little bit more color.
Mm,
The entire thing is kind of just like a gray, like a matte black
yeah.
grayish color. I
Hmm.
wish there was a little bit more color. So I vaguely want to hold off until they get other colors, but that's gonna be way too long from now, so maybe not. It probably won't
Yeah,
happen.
they could even bring back red and blue. I know most people
Yeah,
didn't like the red and blue, but I'm like, I was okay with it.
yeah, red and blue was just fine with me.
It was just fine. Yeah. So I mean, they could just redo that color. Maybe we'll get some others. And I know, like, much later on, we're like, watch when Donkey Kong comes out, they're gonna have an exclusive Switch to Donkey Kong,
I'm
Donkey Kong
sure
Switch
that they
2.
will. I'm sure that they will, and I'm gonna want it so bad.
Yep.
And I
So
also,
yeah.
and one
Mhm.
last thing,
Go
I'm
ahead.
glad that the amiibos aren't gone.
Yes, Amiibos are back. Yes, Amiibos are back. We are getting Tears of the Kingdom Amiibos. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm
Yeah.
like tooling inside, and that's all I need.
Yep.
That was all I need. And Minoru.
Yeah.
That was another
Well,
one.
you know me, I'm gonna get them all because that's what I
Yeah, you're gonna get them all.
do.
But I was like, yes, I had to get. I was like, I know those three. I'm gonna get the Street Fighter ones. I was like, don't get me wrong, I like Street Fighters, and I was like, I saw their amiibos, and I was like, the amiibos was tempting. I might just get those and maybe get the game eventually. But if they get Tekken 8 and some Tekken 8 amiibos,
That's what I was just about to say.
oh
I know what you're gonna be doing if that happens.
yes, because I missed out on Tekken 8. As soon as that gets announced, I am getting Tekken 8. I don't know if out there listening, but I am a huge Tekken fan. Sorry, I was like, I know I'm probably gonna get my butt handed to me by some of you online folks, but I love Tekken. I
Oh
love
yeah.
Tekken. So
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I got the Kazuya amiibo. You can't see it, but he's over there.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So, and watch, I'm gonna come back to you, in my spare time, be like, oh, what if they did this, Somber? What if they did that?
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
gonna
I'm
happen.
sure. Cause it's got my mind racing now. Cause I'm like, man, we're it's real. It's happening. We're doing it.
Mm, exactly. One other question before we close out. So, we got the GameCube Virtual Console coming out on Nintendo Switch 2. Do you think that they'll put Super Smash Bros. Melee on there?
Ooh, that is a question. Ooh, I actually think that they will not.
Yeah, we don't even have Smash Bros. For 64.
Well, I'm
The
gonna
last time we
say.
got that was on
Well, I'm
the
gonna tell you why. Cause okay, melee right now is still such a commodity, right? So
Wii.
if they put melee on there, then I feel like it's not gonna be a commodity no more. So
Mm.
keeping it, if you can keep it as a commodity. I actually think that they should do that. Even though I'm still gonna be complaining, why ain't melee on here? But I feel like they should not put it on there. Keep it a commodity.
I see. I see. It would be a crime against nature if they don't put Double Dash on there.
It will be a
You know
crime.
that's my all-time favorite Mario Kart
I will
game.
have someone arrested.
Yes. Put Double Dash on there. I didn't see it when I was looking for it.
I
I
was
was like,
looking
"Where's
for it
Double Dash?
too.
Where's Double Dash?" I was looking for it. Put Double Dash on there. That is a must. That is my all-time favorite Mario Kart game ever. And you can play that game online with other people, and
Oh
you could team up
yes.
with people and do some crazy combination.
Oh
Give
yes.
us Double Dash.
Give us double dash. I agree. I
Oh
wholeheartedly
my
agree.
goodness. Yeah. So that's my final thought. Let me stop right there because, like I said, the wheels are starting. I'm
Oh
starting to
yeah,
think of more stuff. So
we can
let me.
go for hours. That's why I was like,
I
man, we
know
got to
we
do a
could.
podcast because we was messaging in the Discord, and I'm like, no, I got too much to say. We can't do this. We can't do this. We got a podcast on this one.
Exactly. And I'm glad that we did. So, Somber, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this. So, you all heard our thoughts on the overall Nintendo Switch Direct and what we're looking forward to. So, thank you guys so much for watching this. And if you have some thoughts or feelings that you would like to share about the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 console, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. And that's going to be it for today. We're going to try to keep these Work for Game podcasts on a semi-regular basis. I try to shoot for at least once a month to kind of get together to do something. I know eventually we're going to do a spoiler cast for the Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age. I actually have the outline. I just need to send it to you and our good friend Carrie Mike, so that way we can kind of you guys can hear me rant about that game.
Oh yeah, looking
So
forward to it.
that's something to kind of look forward to in the next Work for Game podcast. It's going to be Final Fantasy 7-12, the Zodiac Age. So yeah, we are going to clock out on this session here, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.